Welcome to Purposely Created Podcast, where this podcast was perfectly created just for you. But before further ado, welcome. Welcome to Purposely Created Podcast, where I share my life story, play inspirational music, talk business, and share the Word of God. So get ready, because it's time for healing, testimonials, and spiritual growth. Break free and let them shackles fall. Like, share, and follow. And tune in every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central Time to Purposely Created Podcast with your host, none other than Crystal Anderson on Kingdom Purpose Radio. Welcome yet again to another session with Purposely Created Podcast on Kingdom's Purpose Radio. I'm your host that does the most and boasts about God. And today we have a very, very, very special guest in the house. So welcome to the table. His name is Zodrey. Welcome, Zodrey. He is a life insurance broker, a credit repair educator. I believe he is a comedian as well, and he just happens to be a very, very dear friend of mine. So welcome to this episode.
Welcome.
Welcome. So let's get started. Today's topic is about securing your family legacy. And I've been wanting, this is long overdue because you have been supposed to have been up here to talk about this, because this is something that our community definitely needs to talk about, hear about, and get started with. So many things we just need to prepare. And I think last week I talked about preparation for business, but we just need to prepare ourselves for the future and for our future, our kids to come. So I want to first ask you, just tell us a little bit about yourself and how did you get into this?
Well, honestly, a little bit about myself. I was born and raised in the city of Chicago, on the south side of Chicago, Wild Hundreds.
Ooh.
Single parent, mother raised me. My father was really around. My mother was basically my everything. And what really got me into this is basically life. Years ago, probably like over 10 years ago, my mother had passed away. When she passed away, it was terrible, and everything was jacked up. Everything. I couldn't get a house, car, all kind of stuff. So when she died, I had to figure life out. I had to figure out how to get an apartment, how to get a car, and it forced me to learn things that I wasn't taught as a child.
Yeah. Okay. That's deep. When you talk about like just being in a situation where you had no knowledge, but you took the time out to learn it, so that was like a big step in the right direction to secure your future and for your children. It's difficult sometimes when we don't have these tools and we're not set up for situations like a sudden death of a family, and then we wind up struggling. So I think it's important that, and this is the topic about life insurance, why it's so important. So that's kind of my first question is, what is the benefit of having life insurance?
Well, where I'm from, we only think life insurance is for what?
I don't know.
So when you hear about life insurance, what is the first thing? What is the purpose of life insurance?
I mean, the first thing that came to my mind when I first got it is just money, getting paid when someone's laid underground,
There you go. So no one likes to have those deep conversations when it comes to life insurance. And I had to figure out, like, man, how can I educate on the power of life insurance without talking about death, right?
Yeah.
So when I grew up, it was a lot of companies out here. The only thing they used to say was, "Hey, what are you going to do if you die tomorrow? What are you going to do if your mother die tomorrow, or your husband die tomorrow, or your cousin die tomorrow?" Nobody want to hear about that stuff. So We run away from. We don't want to talk about death. We don't want to talk about not being around our kids because it's a scary conversation. So I
Yeah.
had to take years studying, figuring out how can I use life insurance without while I'm still alive, and
Yeah.
why, so it's so many different ways that you can use it while being alive. And once I educate myself on the power of life insurance while being alive, it changed my life.
Yeah. I remember when I was living with my grandmother, and my mother had got her policy, and she told me to go ahead and get me one. And I think at the time I only had one child, which was my son, and he was only probably like a year old or so. So I got my policy at a very, very young age. However, I didn't understand my policy. I didn't know what it meant. I just knew that I had some type of security. But honestly, I didn't really understand the policy until just recently when I sat down and really talked to you, because sometimes agents don't even take the time to really go through the details of what your policy really means. So you can be signing, you can have a life insurance policy, but it may not even be beneficial, you know? So what's the difference between like term and permanent life insurance?
So term term is basically like a certain term. So example, if you are 21 years old and you have kids, okay,
Hmm.
you want to get that term life insurance just in case you pass away. How can your kids survive without you? You get what I'm saying? So the goal is to be 20. Say you're 20 years old, okay? Now
Hmm.
you have two kids, all right? So now you 50. Now your kids shouldn't need money from you anymore because guess what? They're older now. They're 30, so they can take care of themselves. So you want to make
Yeah.
sure that if you die, something happens, whoever, mom's still alive or father's still alive, they need help taking care of your kids. Or while you're young and you get sick, like I had a
Hmm.
one young lady, she was around like 20 something years old. She had a gave birth to a child, and after she gave birth, a few months later, she was blind. So now
Oh,
her
wow.
mom has to take care of her. Yes, it's deep. Yes, her mom has to take care of her. She can't even really walk or anything like that. So if she
Hmm.
had the proper life insurance policy, you know, you can take from that policy to pay your bills. You know,
Yeah.
because if you get
It's like
sick,
borrow against it, right?
right? So meaning that, say if you got a $500,000 life insurance policy, you have a stroke because it's possible. Look at LeBron James' son. He had a heart
Yeah.
attack. He was healthy, young. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
You have a heart attack. $500,000 policy. You can borrow from your death benefit. So you
Hmm.
may can borrow, depending upon the carrier, 80% of the policy, 50% of the policy. So if you got a $500,000 policy, you can borrow $250,000 because who wants to worry about their bills while they're in the hospital? Oh, I just had a heart attack, but I gotta be at work Monday. You gonna kill yourself faster
Hmm.
because you worried about your bills. You worried about your car note. So you want to be able to pour from your
Yeah.
policy as a cushion. But a lot of carriers don't offer that feature because I never knew nothing about it until I'm meeting customers that have cancer, diabetes, strokes, can't walk, and things like that.
Hmm.
People that need to pay for their parents to get wiped, need to
Yeah.
have someone take care of their parents and things like that. So that's what the term is. The term can help you take care of your kids while they're young, or take care of you if you get sick and you
Hmm.
can't walk around like you should, but you still take care of your kids with your kids. Take care of your kids with the money.
So when doing research trying to get a life insurance policy, what are like the main key aspects that they should be looking for or asking questions when they're talking to different agents about, coverage?
Everybody's situation different because if you're sick, it's gonna be hard. You're gonna get a life insurance policy, but it's not gonna be the same. You can't have like a cancer and get a $500,000 policy. You
Mm-hmm.
can't be 500 pounds and get a no. It doesn't work like that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you're healthy, it's best to take advantage of it now.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are going to get a term policy, it's best for you to get a term with a return of premium because everybody not dying like that.
You said a term premium?
Return of premium.
A return of premium. Okay.
Yeah. So what that means is you're 20 years old, you got a child, you get a policy. Now 30 years, now you're 50. You don't pass away. All of the money that you put into your policy, guess what? You're getting a refund. You're getting all of it back. Can't beat that. But a lot of carriers don't offer that. So I do. I want to make sure that you're going to be rewarded while you're being alive for having your life insurance policy. Or you can have one that you're 18 years old and in an investment account. So instead of you putting your money into a 401k, a mutual fund, you can put your money into your life insurance policy. So now you got that half of that portion or whatever, however we do it. A majority of that portion is going for your life insurance to cover you for living benefits. The other portion is going to a savings account. Now you're 30 years old. Now you need 15 grand for a house. You can go into your life insurance policy and borrow from it. Now when you borrow that 15,000, your 15,000 is still gaining interest because you're not borrowing from you. You're borrowing from that death benefit. So what you're saying is, if I take this $15,000 out, I promise if I pass away, you could take $15,000 from my $500,000 life insurance policy, and that's what I mean.
That is interesting, and it makes me want to. And I know we have to, but it makes me want to dive deeper into my own policy and see the pros and cons and see what because like I stated, when we was looking at my policy, it's decent, but having more than one policy could be even better, right? So what do you think about that? Like, what is your take on having more than one policy?
Me, I got a few life insurance policies, but you have to have the right one, and don't let social media fool you. Okay. I think every life insurance policy is amazing, but we hear a lot about IULs all over social media. IULs, get your IUL. But what the reps don't tell you is if you get an IUL, it's a surrender charge.
I honestly don't know what that stands for.
So this is what that means. Okay, so on one of my family members, I have an IUL just for death benefit only. I'm not doing it as an investment account. But people lie to you and tell you can use IUL as investment, like being your own bank, but it's not true. Okay. So say if you have cash value, $4,000 in cash value, okay? You want to pull that money out. But they may say, if you pull this money out in 10 years, you're going to get penalized. Reps don't go over what the cost is. So with the company one of the companies I'm with, you have to hold the money in there for 15 years.
Oh wow, that's a long time.
If you pull out, they take $7,500. Because I called them the other day, I say, hey, what if I invest? Because I was just trying to test the water. I say, hey, what if I invest $15K into the life insurance policy, and I want to come back and I want to borrow $10,000? The lady was like, you have to pay us $750 to borrow your money, because
$750.
No, $7,500.
$7,500.
Yes, $7,500 because it's the IUL. Yes, no rep is going to go. No rep is going to sit and break it down. No rep is going to go and look at year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, zero cash value. When you look at year 7, you done dump 12 grand into that policy and you only got $1,000 to pull from. It's not fair. But in the Bible it said we perish from lack of knowledge. But if you get a whole life policy, there's no fees. So if you dump in 20K in a whole life policy, you can borrow from your money in like 2 weeks. You get what I'm saying? And say if you borrow from that policy, the money is not gone. So imagine you have an income tax check, $10,000. We're gonna say for 10 years, okay? You dump your whole $10,000 income tax check in your policy. Now say if your policy is 100 grand, right? If you have 100 grand in the bank and you take $50,000 to buy a car, how much money you got left?
If you take, can you say that again?
100 grand in your bank account, and you take 50,000 out to borrow to buy a car, what you got left?
Half that left.
If you take 100 grand and dump it to a life insurance policy, and you borrow 50K from it, you will have this 100,000 still gaining compound interest.
Even if you borrowed the 50K from that?
Yes, because you're not borrowing from you, you're borrowing from your death benefit. So your promise to the insurance company is, hey, If I pass away, instead of us giving you $500K for death benefit, we're gonna give your family $450,000. So at the end of the day, you won. You use your money while you was alive, and now your family's winning.
That's smart.
So let's get deep. People say, okay, I'm gonna put 50,000 to a mutual fund, no life insurance policy. Okay. First off, if you borrow from them, you're gonna be penalized. Secondly, if you pass away in a year, the only thing your family gonna have is $50,000.
And that's only enough to probably get a casket.
Right. So now imagine you dumping $50,000 to a life insurance policy. Now your death benefit may be $600,000. You pass away in a year, your family walking away with $600,000. Or imagine you dumping $50,000 inside of your life insurance policy, borrowing $40,000 from it. You pass away, you still was able to use your money, and your family was able to use more money. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we're not talking about stuff like that. You know what's so crazy? I had went to the boat show, and a lot of the people that was there was talking about life insurance.
Really?
Oh yeah.
So this is the topic of their conversation.
Let's get deep. You know who Walt Disney is, right? Walt Disney uses life insurance policy to fund Walt Disney. You know that, right? They lie and say he used the IUL. That's not true. IUL's only been around for 30 years. Is Walt Disney 30 years old? Is Walt Disney still alive?
No, I think he passed away.
Right. So how was it an IUL? It's not. So he used the whole life policy to fund Walt Disney, not tickets $500 for it. Or Waka Flocka put his money into a life insurance policy. Wasn't IUL. J.C. Penney.
These are big companies.
McDonald's. So if you got all these wealthy banks, what you think the banks are using? They're not using they're using whole life policies. And you probably wondering is like, how are they making money? Trust me, they're not stupid now. They know how to, if you put 50K in there, they're gonna make that money work. When the stock market and the real estate market crashed, guess who helped everybody get out of their difficult situations?
The life insurance policies?
Companies, yes. But remember, people perish from a lack of knowledge. And unfortunately, my cousins don't want to talk about life insurance because we're selfish. And we'll say stuff like, why would I give somebody some money if I'm dead? If I'm struggling while I'm alive, you're going to struggle when I die.
Oh, that's ignorant.
Then I had one lady, she had like 6 kids. She told me, I'm not getting on life insurance policy. If I pass away, that ain't on me. That's on whoever's going to take care of them. And I deleted her off Facebook.
Oh, wow. I mean, the kids, though? Like,
yeah, she said, I'm
your babies, though?
You would be shocked. All these people acting like they entrepreneurs and they got it out. They don't even have no life insurance. First off, it's not that expensive. It's not.
No, it's not, because my policy is not expensive.
You can get you some, even if you say, you know what, I don't have enough money right now. You can at least get you something for $40, $50 a month. People phone bills way more than that. But guess what? It's a bill. I'm not doing that. That's a bill. I ain't about to pass away. But what happened when somebody there, the first thing they say is, hey, did Johnny have life insurance? That's the first thing they say.
And then, you know what kills me is all of these GoFundMes. Like, once someone passed away, everybody want to put a GoFundMe, and then they're begging for money, and they want us to have sympathy. But it's like, why didn't you prepare yourself for a time that, you know, like this? Like, and it's like, you can't expect somebody else to pitch in when you should have prepared yourself.
So this is the thing, right? I hang around a lot of wealthy people lately, and their mindset is totally different. Like, for real, they talk about life insurance and investing their money. They out. I'm sitting there trying to buy a nice car, Maseratis and stuff like that, and these people buying boats and yachts and stuff.
Claims.
when you go to the boat show, you're gonna see a lot of different cultures out there, And I love my people, but there ain't gonna be a lot of black people at no boat shows. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the key thing is we need to change that. We need to change what we need to change what we're doing and stuff like that. And as a man, you want to be able to make sure your kids is okay. You want to make sure, forget the kids, make sure you okay. How many people you know that be like, girl, you know, so and so had a stroke. Girl, you know, so and so had a heart attack. Girl, you know, so and so can't work. How many times you hear that?
Yeah.
If you have a stroke tomorrow, do you think a cell phone company care about you? They gonna keep your phone on?
And it's even this too. Like, even if they're not talking about the other bills, I feel like our community, we spend our money on non-essential things, non-things that's so irrelevant, like, you know, name brand this or weave or this, you know, things that is not going to benefit us later. Like, we spend so much money building up somebody else's company instead of pouring that money into ourselves. And I think that's sad. And we need to be educated.
We don't want to hear that.
Change that. But something has to change. Something
ain't nothing gonna change. Only thing we care about is Beyonce. People been talking about the Luka LeBron. I mean, the Luka and whatever his name, AD, AB, whatever his name. I don't watch basketball.
I don't even know what you're talking about because
so it was a trade with the NBA. Everybody talking about that. People talking about Beyonce getting awards and Kendrick Lamar and stuff like that, and who playing for the NFL. But
these
it's
people
sad.
Rich
But
they
it's
got
sad.
life insurance policies.
No, Black Panther guy didn't have one.
Oh, really? He didn't
Prince,
have life insurance?
No, Prince.
Well, is it because they're already rich?
But now, if you DMX, so now you gotta understand this. At least have a will and trust.
Because that's the thing. I'm like, if you have money already stored up, I mean,
I'm just gonna look at you right now. Hold on, I'm gonna look at you. I know a lot of celebrities, right? And when you be shocked, they don't know how to control their money. They don't have no life insurance policy. They don't know how to save money, none of that stuff. So just because, example, if you give a person that's been broke all this money, guess what? They're gonna lose it.
And then even the people that they do entrust with their funds, it's like, how do you know what they're like? If you don't know how to manage your own money and you trusting somebody else with your money, how you know what they're really doing with it?
And then people get mad. Say, I know people who passed away. Can't you imagine something happening to somebody you love that you dated, right? And y'all together, y'all got kids, right? They pass away and they life insurance policy in their brother name. That death benefit goes to their brother or their girlfriend. How would you feel?
Yeah, that's crazy. Especially
it happens a lot. It happens a lot. I don't have people pass away and the life insurance policy going to the cousin name. The life insurance policy going to the side girlfriend name. So the first issue is if you got a man, you need to put a policy on your man. You need to pay for it.
Do you need his permission to do that though?
No, that's your man. That's your husband. No.
Okay.
And if you guys are mature enough,
because I thought that sometimes they may ask like certain questions, like do they need their social or can they just do it without?
No, you need a social, but if you're in a relationship,
yeah. So how you gonna get their social if they don't?
So you don't need to be in a relationship with that person. If you guys can't have a deep conversation about, hey, and he need to have one on you. If you guys don't want to have that deep conversation, especially if you have kids, that's the wrong person. You shouldn't even have the kids with that person.
I mean, I agree with that statement.
You get what I'm saying?
I'm just talking like if it's just a regular, like if you're just girlfriend and boyfriend, if it's not a serious relationship, then
man, it's you
there's
can
no tie.
Yes, with their permission, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So if their mindset is not there, y'all shouldn't be dating anyway. So that's y'all watching that balloon pop show, right? Balloon pop show, right? And I recorded it.
That show is ridiculous.
She was real pretty, and he was like, "Hey, I got a question to ask you." She was like, she said she had like 4 kids. He's like, the kid's not a problem. He said, "Do you have life insurance?" She was like, "No." He popped this balloon. Popped this balloon. You get what I'm saying? So you just got to make sure, like I said, have you ever had a person get mad so and so on the beneficiary of this life insurance policy She left so and so $500,000 and ain't give me nothing. You ain't paid for it. So how can you control where the money go? So if you have a husband, you need to pay for his policy, not you do, because he could change the beneficiary. Now what? He passed away, the insurance in the dog name. I done have people pass away in insurance in the cat's name.
You know what? I've heard a story about that. There was I don't know if it was a woman or a man.
She
had all of this money and she passed it down to her dog.
Yep.
And she had grandkids. She passed it down to her dog.
Yep.
I was like, what? What the dog gonna do with the money?
But that's what I'm telling you. If you got a son out here that's shooting at people and stuff like that, why you what's gonna happen?
If you know your child that's in the streets, you definitely need to have one.
They ain't doing it. You know your baby daddy is he out here in the streets? Your husband in the streets? Or fellas, your girl in the streets? Get a policy on them.
Yeah.
Or you got your husband or your wife or your whatever dog, cat, whatever you want to call them. They eat unhealthy chicken every day. 500 pounds. You thick, baby. With you 500 pounds, you gonna have a heart attack.
Yeah. And
but we don't talk about stuff like that.
Joke. Yeah. It was something that you said earlier about the policy about borrowing against your policy. And I think that's what happened with me. And I didn't know because my agent didn't tell me like the rules and the financial part of it. And then I switched to a different agent and then I couldn't contact that agent, but I had borrowed money. And when you looked into my policy, you saw that I owed money, but I didn't know I owed money because it happened like so many years ago, you know?
Right.
So that was a shocker to me. And if you wouldn't have looked into that, I would have never known.
So this would have happened.
They didn't tell me.
They don't know. People be selling stuff. And they don't know what they're selling because my job is to get as much money as possible. I don't care about learning about life insurance. I want to get as much money as possible. I don't care if the policy is terrible. I want as much money as possible. You get what I'm saying? That's so crazy. When you borrow from it, you don't have to pay it back. You don't. But it's interest on that money.
Interest. The interest part.
So if you at least pay the interest back, think about it. I have a guy right now. He's like in credit card debt, right? So what I'm having him do, I'm having him put all his checks in his life insurance policy, everything. Pull the money back out, pay his credit cards. Put the whole money in there, pay credit cards, bills. Keep putting in there, right? So at the end of the year, he's going to have 20 to 30,000 compounded, still gaining interest, okay? That's his money. Still cheaper than a 30% interest rate on the credit card. Still cheaper than a 19% interest rate on a personal loan. You get what I'm saying? So say if you have like, where's my phone? Do I got my phone on me?
Ain't you on me?
No, you said on my phone. I don't think on my. I think it failed. But say if you get like, how much if you owe? I'm trying to see now. All right, forget the phone. So
I have a calculator. If you
say if
you need me to put my
you got like 30,000 in your life insurance policy, okay? And you need 15K to start your own business.
You gonna pull 15K from that life insurance policy?
Yes. Times 5%. How much is that?
Times 5%.
15,000. Yes.
I don't know if I did that right because I'm getting 29,250.
No. 15,000 times 5%.
Oh, okay. Times 5%.
Yes.
$750.
So all you got to do is pay $750 that year. Is that hard?
No.
So if you don't, now how long you have your life insurance policy?
Me?
Yes.
How old am I? I'm 36, possibly 37. I've had it for 16. Oh, how old am I? I've had it for 15 years, 15, 16 years.
What's 15 times 750?
That's 11,250.
Right. That's how much you owe. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because you ain't want to pay that $750 a month. So what's gonna happen is you keep on playing, you're gonna wake up, right? And you're gonna get a letter in the mail and say your policy has collapsed because your policy has lapsed because the interest overpowered the cash value. Now you ain't got a life insurance policy. So if you want to keep your life insurance policy, you need to pay us $15,000.
That's crazy. Wait, okay. Yeah.
So I'm gonna repeat myself. So I'm gonna slow down a little bit, okay?
Okay.
You don't have your life insurance policy. You don't. So now you got $30,000. And I'm looking at my phone, right? So we doing. You don't borrow 15K out. Now, it took you years to put the 15,000 in. So don't think it's sweet.
Yeah.
Don't think you start a life insurance policy tomorrow. You only pay $150 and you're gonna borrow 15,000. It's not gonna go like that. The only way you can borrow that much money if you get have a stroke, cancer, something happened like that. You get what I'm saying? You can borrow from your death benefit. But if you healthy, you have to put the money inside your policy. Okay. If you have something like an IUL, you're going to pay a surrender fee. If that surrender fee is $7,500 and you have $8,000 cash value, you only walk away with $50. You have to keep the policy for so long so you won't have a surrender fee. By that time, you don't put like 40 or 50,000 in that to take back 5,000, which is the math not mathing. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But unfortunately, like you said, people don't educate themselves.
Yeah.
So you start a life insurance policy, say forget it. You're using it like a savings account, right? Because you're a boss like me. Every month you put in $1,000 in there, right? So in 2 years, you got 24,000 in there, okay? Now you're like, I want to buy me this house, okay? You go borrow 20,000, forget it. 20,000 times 5%. That's $1,000. If you can't pay $1,000 interest in a year, you don't need to borrow that 20,000 anyway. That's a big problem, right?
That's a big problem.
But hold on. How long you have life insurance policy again?
For me, for like 15, 16 years.
So 15 years. So 15 years go past. You owe them $15,000 now. You don't know because your agent ain't tell you nothing. They ain't told you nothing at all because they telling you ain't got to pay this money back. You don't have to pay it back, but guess what's interest on this money, right? So now, year 20, you get a letter in the mail saying, hey, if you don't pay us 20K, your life insurance policy is over. Because you no longer have money in cash value. Because the interest overwhelmed the cash value. So now you ain't on a life insurance policy after 20 years. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you.
Just like when we was calling about you, and I wasn't gonna say nothing because that's your personal business. I don't do that. You know, you like Zodrey. We called and she took because life happened. Life be life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you borrowed from your policy.
And it was only crazy because I you know, when you lose your job, they give you like a 3-month grace period. So they said instead of canceling the policy, we freeze it, but we can borrow from your money and pay the bill. And I did that for 2 months only, not 3. And I didn't know that I had to pay interest off of that, and it multiplied.
Right.
And I'm
like, if we never sat down and called them, because we called, and I'm on the phone, like, hey, you was a little upset. You like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? Like, wait a minute, they just played me. So imagine me and you never talking. Something happened, and then you get a letter.
Can't you imagine? No cash value.
You got sick, and you trying to borrow from your policy. Unfortunately, man, your policy was canceled a year ago because of this loan. You get what I'm saying? So now they saying, hey, if you cancel from this policy, that's fine, but you ain't gonna walk away with $500. You get what I'm saying?
Over $320.
Over $320. You get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, when a person I'm passionate about what I do. I know how I feel to have a mother pass away, leave me with $20. Not being able to get a car in my name, not being able to get an apartment in my name. Matter of fact, if she had life insurance policy, I don't think I could have handled the money anyway, because I never had that much money.
Yeah.
So I would have spent that money on Cool G and Iceberg.
That's another thing we're gonna have to talk about: money management.
Right,
later
and that's
down the line. Yeah,
your mindset. You get what I'm saying? And that's the things that I talk about. You know what I'm saying? So people went around me when my neighbor knocked on my door, right? Crying. His wife unconscious. I go over there, she's laying on the floor. I'm like, what the heck going on? I gotta go upstairs and the guy coming in with all black on, boots, long trench coat, zip the mama in the bag. I'm like, what's going on? I was about to cuss, but I saw Christian and God in the beginning. I said I can't cuss right now. Not on her episodes. But I'm like, what the hell going on? Right? I'm looking like they zipped her up. And we had to tell these babies who birthdays was like the next day, your mama not gonna be here anymore. I was around when people that I love have strokes or can't even talk no more. Can't even people that forget it. Having a term policy outlived a term, they bill only $20 a month. Now they 60 years old. Now they bill $500 because they older now and they have health issues. People lying to them, telling them, "Hey, you guaranteed to have insurance till you're 100." Yes, you are, but once you get sick, they're not going to have that $20 policy anymore.
So they increase it.
Yes, think about it.
Really? Can they do it?
What does term mean? The time over with. So if you got a term policy till you 50, right?
So if you're sick and then you have to redo it.
Yes. So you
got
have
it.
A stroke,
that makes sense. Okay.
And they redo it. Now all of a sudden, I had a lady that something happened with jail, and then her stuff now like $700 a month.
That's more. So that's like a car note. More than a car note. That's car note and insurance.
But if you got whole life insurance, it stays the same. That's why
you would basically say that whole life is basically better than term.
It depends on the situation, okay? If you have no kids, yes, whole life is better, but whole life is more expensive. But it's worth it. You get what I'm saying? Because I use my whole life. First off, you gotta have a certain mindset when talking to me. If you're not ready to go to the next level, don't talk to me. You get what I'm saying? So the way I set my clients' whole life policy up, say if you're paying $250 a month, right? I may make $100 to go towards your life insurance policy for living benefits because you not God, so we might get sick. So we need that $100 to go towards death benefits and living benefits. If you get sick, you covered. You ain't got to worry about running your business. You ain't got to worry about paying your lights. You got kids. You ain't got to worry about none of that stuff, right? The other portion is you're a boss. You already got a store already. So now the other money is going to go towards your savings account. Now all of a sudden I'm saying, hey, let's open another candle shop and all you need is $30K. You go into your life insurance policy, borrow $30K out. Your $30,000 is still getting compound interest, right? So look, this is the man of a boss. So you borrow $30,000. 5% of $30,000 is times 5%. It's $1,500 a year. How cold you are, you're going to make that 30 G's back anyway that year.
Definitely.
You're going to pay that $30,000 back because you done made 60. Now you compounding 60,000. You get what I'm saying? So the more money you keep putting in, the more they keep compounding. Now imagine doing it at 18. Like right now, you got kids. You supposed to put a whole lot of policy on them kids when they 1 year old, when they 10 months.
My kids have insurance. I don't know what policy they have. My kids have policies.
Who pay for it?
Me.
So tomorrow we got to figure out what company.
Yeah, we're gonna have to dive into, because I had them sending me my stuff. So we're going to have to dive deep and get Whatever's not straight. Because this year is a year of preparation. This year is I'm getting things in order.
Because right now, I'm gonna look at my phone right now. Say if I want to say, okay, your baby is 1 year old, okay? So imagine if everybody, I'm looking at my phone, y'all. So don't know I like I'm not paying attention. I'm doing a quote. I'm about to do a quote right now, or one of these carriers I deal with, right? Your baby 1 year old, okay? So now imagine if everybody in the world had to get life insurance, right? You know how much a whole life policy costs for a 1 year old?
What, like $15?
We're gonna do it right now. $50K. $19 a month.
I was close.
So $19 times 12. 19 times 12. That's only $228 a year. I'm gonna say times 50
you can
years.
pay that.
Look, time 50 years. That's only $11K.
You can
so
pay
you're
that.
not even gonna overpay it. Even if you live to 100, you're only gonna pay $22,000 and the death benefit $50,000. So how is if that's too much? Get your baby a policy for $10 a month. Give him a policy for $5. We got it.
Something.
We ain't doing it. I got a question to ask you. Why is it mandatory to get car insurance and home insurance, but not life insurance?
I don't know.
And that's bogus. So you telling me a car worth more than me? I can go to jail if I have a car insurance.
That is an interesting way to look at it and look at life.
You telling me if you value a brand new house, could you buy that house without having a house insurance?
Yeah.
Can you?
Not legally. No, you can't.
Right,
you have to have insurance. They're not going. You gotta have it. I'm just saying I could, but no, they're not going.
So why government not making you get life insurance?
Even with cars, they won't let you purchase no car without insurance. You cannot leave the lot without it if it's a legit car place. They are not letting you leave that lot without insurance.
So the reason why it's like that because
why we don't leave the hospitals with life insurance? If you can't leave the lot without insurance, why are we not leaving the hospitals without insurance?
Because it won't be poor people anymore. So we need to keep people poor.
That's great.
We need balance. If everybody passed away in the hood, $1 million policies, it wouldn't be no crime. So we can't let them get life insurance. We can't get them life. Don't get them life insurance.
Keep us down.
Yeah.
While they educated and they up.
Yes. I was out eating with my wife one day, right? And we eating breakfast. It was a group of Caucasian men, like 12 of them, and a little boy was like 12. They were talking about investments and life insurance, and I'm like, you hit it, and they talking low, like I'm trying to eavesdrop. You see what I'm saying?
They didn't want you to hear.
We loud, girl. LeBron. These people like, hey, I'm about to I just put one policy on so and so. One, can't you imagine my grandmama having a life insurance policy for $500,000? My mother having one for $500,000. You see what I'm saying?
And then it's just rolling over to the next person,
next person.
Generational wealth.
What would the Rockefellers do? That's what they did. And the Rockefellers wasn't black. Now I love my people. I love them. I wouldn't do what I do, but I'm just being honest. Like for real. Why the celebrities not talking about life insurance like that?
Because the narrative that they need to push out is not for us.
I'm gonna be quiet.
It's programming. And we all into it. We all hypnotized. Not all of us, but most of us asleep.
And you know what's so crazy? When I was talking to one person, a lot of people were like, hey, you need to get life insurance policy. Then I get that call. Man, I should listen to you. My boyfriend died.
Don't wait till it's too late.
I should listen to you. My son died. That boy was shooting up everybody. What you expect? That boy done killed like 15 people. Come on, man.
He was walking the streets.
But we asked, why do a lot of carriers deny people for life insurance? You got to ask me that question. They did not carry. They did not people. If you're overweight, if you weigh a
Yeah,
certain amount, you ain't getting a
your
life insurance
health.
policy.
Yeah, if
Yes,
your health is in bad shape. But that's the crazy. The statistics are us are always unhealthy. And if you notice, I live in a suburban area. Where I work, where my store is upcoming, is a suburban area. All the restaurants around there, vegan places, healthy places. You won't see no fast food, not no toxic fast food places. The closer you get to the city, Popeyes, KFC, Taco Bell, McDonald's, Burger King, that's what is available for us. And then they say, well, we're unhealthy. You have diabetes, you have high blood pressure, you have this, you have that. But that's all that's available and accessible for us. But they have all of these places where it's just healthy eating. That's what they're around. So it's like we're programmed to already fail.
and that's why I feel like it's not about money when it comes to this. Because honestly, if I depended upon life insurance to pay my bills, I'll be living in the alley somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Cause my people think it's like a bill. They don't look at it like, hey, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, as an investment and things like that. You get what I'm saying? So it's it's I don't know, man, but my as my calling is just to educate people and things like that. And I used to get mad, like, oh my God, you don't want to get life insurance policy, you this, you that. I don't be care, I be chilling. If you don't get it, that's on you. But if I call, I know people right now that I can call, and right now they be like, what's wrong with you? Zodrey, I had a stroke. I know people out there was like, what happened? I was at work and I just passed out.
Mm-hmm.
You can't call your mortgage company and say I had a stroke. They don't care. Man, we sorry, Crystal. But if
You
your
know what?
mama don't pay the bills, y'all gonna be living out on that porch.
You know what this reminds me of, though, when you made that statement about like when you tell people and you're so passionate about it and you giving them the good news of why it's important and investing and preparing. It reminds me of just people just spreading the gospel and talking about Jesus and why they should be connected to God. And it's like people are it's falling on deaf ears. Like they're not hearing it. Right. And it's like you want to be so passionate and just tell them about God and tell them, and it's like they're not receiving it. And it's like God is sending you to say what you're gonna say, but if they don't receive it, you did your part.
But this is the thing, though. If you want to get deep, right?
Everybody's not going to receive it.
I know only like I know the Bible. In the Bible it says, "I've hidden your word in my heart, so I may not sin against you." Right? So it says, Jesus say, "My sheep know my voice."
Mm-hmm.
So your kids know your voice. So imagine I come to your house right now, and I call your kids. They're gonna be like,
"Who's that?
Who the hell? Who are you?" But you call, my kids know my voice. You get what I'm saying? So I'm at a mindset in my life now that I don't. If they don't listen to me, my job is to plant seed. But
Right.
don't call me. I'm not give you the money to bury baby. Why would I bury baby and I got kids that's alive? I'm not putting money into no person that's I'm not even back y'all no chicken.
When you gave them the information on when they needed it and they refused it. They refused it and rejected it.
Because if baby don't want to pay for it, you pay for baby. You pay for it for Keisha. You get what I'm saying? That's your woman. That's your man. That's your child. So if they don't want to be responsible, because my parents don't need permission. Parents are a boss. If you could put a policy on your kids without their permission, because that's your kids.
Right. Yeah.
You can go down, but you can't put insurance on your mother. You can't put insurance on your brother. But your kids, matter of fact, your kids, I don't even need their social security number. Because they're kids. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, it's all about people. And I'm just gonna keep on, sharing the word, telling people, hey, this is why I suggest, hey, let's not talk about death. Because I don't like talking about death when it comes to life insurance. I want to talk about how can you use this while you're alive. Because a lot of people don't get income tax money. So if you're gonna get 5Gs, why not dump the 5Gs to your life insurance policy and then borrow from it? You're gonna pay the car loans back 19%. So why not pay yourself back at a lower interest rate? But the good thing is you're not losing your money. If you borrow 20,000, imagine 20,000 compounded over years. That's a lot of money. So the first year, so say we're gonna do the math right quick, right? 20,000. Say if your money compounding 10%, right? Times 10%. That's two G's. So now you at 22,000. By the time 10 years go by, that 20,000 will jump to like 35,000 compounded. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But only my sheep know my voice.
I like the way you put it, and I hope that a lot of people, I know we're coming to a close, but I hope people receive this the way you said. You don't look at it as like a death policy. It's a life policy, and you want to use it while you're alive. So I hope the people that feel like, oh, why am I doing this if I'm not going to be able to utilize it for anybody else? If you have that selfish mindset, change the way you're thinking, and then also know that you can use it for things now. You don't have to wait until you're dead, because once you're dead and gone, you can't use it. But if you're still alive and you need to borrow against it, if you have financial difficulties, or if you're trying to start a business, or if you're just trying to go on a small trip, or whatever you're trying to do, if your kid is going to graduate and going off to college and need to pay a loan or something, like, this is the time where you can do this. So how can they and I'm going to also put your information in the description, but how can they contact you if they want to dive deep and get more information on starting a policy or just looking into their policy?
So basically, they can look me up on social media. My name is Zodrey. That's my real name. I don't have Killer Z is Zodrey. Zodrey. It ain't Bobo Jackson. It's you know what I'm saying? Ghost, monkey, the monkey, the killer. No, it's Zodrey. Okay. Or if you can shoot me a text, 708-953-0960. I'm not hiding like other agents that she done deal with. She can't even find them no more. You know what I'm saying? I'm not hiding now. You can text me on my phone, Zodrey, 708-953-0960. You can also reach out to me on Facebook. I'm old, so I use Facebook. If you hit me on Instagram, hey, if you hit me on Instagram, I might get back to you in a few months.
Right, like my kids told me that I was old because I use Facebook. I said, how am I old? I can't do the TikTok, the Twitter, the Instagram. I be on Instagram, but I be on there probably once every 2 weeks, and I check, and I'm like, oh, all these people message me. I Facebook.
Yeah.
They lucky they don't have no MySpace.
Man, tag, all that stuff. And one thing you forgot to say.
What I forgot?
If you get sick, we're strong. How many breast cancer survivors you know?
I know a lot.
How many people that survived from heart attacks?
I don't know any.
Well, in the world, just looking in the world, heart attacks, strokes, right?
Oh yeah, strokes, yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So while they're down, they can pour from their policy and their life can still be regular.
Use it, yeah.
It's still regular. So I don't have to. Can't you imagine having a stroke and then you get a dang on eviction notice on the door? They tell you they about to repo your car. Now you done died because you didn't stressed out.
I'm not
for real, but I'm for real though.
That's so terrible.
You know how people that be in the hospital like, man, I know I got these holes in my stomach, but I gotta go work tomorrow. They're gonna fire me.
Yeah.
If
people
you have
stressing it, and then stress is what caused the death. So it's you can't win for losing.
Yep. So have the right living benefits. And and my job is to make sure if you got life insurance, it's cool. I will go over your policy and I will see if you have the proper one. Because a lot of these carriers, and I'm gonna say this and let you go. My partner had he was in a coma 3 months. With God help, he beat the coma. Ooh. His life insurance policy did not have living benefits at all.
Oh.
Nope. So guess what? Wife never worked, so she had to figure out how to pay bills and everything.
Oh.
Because he ain't have living benefits. He only had death benefits. So some of y'all Y'all don't have life insurance. Y'all got death insurance. And Zodrey is against that.
Well, y'all heard it here on Purposely Creative Podcast. Go ahead and reach out to Zodrey. And Zodrey, I am definitely going to be sitting down with you again to look further into my policy and get it all squared away. So you'll be getting a call from me. And I want to thank you guys yet again for tuning in to Purposely Creative Podcast on Kingdom's Purpose Radio. And I will see you guys same place, same time, same place. You guys have a great evening.